Hey, good afternoon everybody. Today I'm going to show you how to make an ingredient that makes a nice addition to your pantry. Dried sweet onions. Now if you look online you can buy dried onions, which are regular usual, yellow onions or Spanish onions. I did look to see, and no, you can't buy the sweet ones, and the flavor is really different, and it's just also a good way to show you how to use your dehydrator, or to induce you to buy one. You'll notice today that I have got 3 of these ready to go because I'm nearly out of dried onions and I do want to make a whole batch of these. So I'm just going to keep chopping until this is filled up, plug it in, and as usual check it every 2 hours. If you're not used to chopping onions, this is a good lesson for that as well. So since you're going to be keeping these, you want all the nice parts. Another advantage of making your own stuff like this is you're not stuck with whatever they happen to give you from the factory, which can have like dried brown bits in it and so on. You can just make sure that like everything on here is great. Now what I'll do usually is hold it and carefully slice the outside. You can just take the skin off and you can see hopefully how shiny that gets, and just get the outside layer off and you're good to go. There's a little dark bit in the middle on the top that should come out. As the next step, just slice it in half, and if there's anything you don't like there, just pull it out and chop it off. I'm just going to take out that whole inner part because the bottom's a bit tough. Do the same thing on the other side. Now for this, your absolute best bet is just do thin slices after it's cut in half, just like this. You're not really needing to do a cross cut on these. You'll see a lot of people doing cross cuts on their onions. When you start chopping these, well, if you chop them at an angle, they just come off like that anyways, so you're kind of doing extra work and risking cutting yourself for nothing. So just chop those fine. I'll just do 1/2 to start, and you don't have to line them up or anything. Keep your fingers clear and just start chopping. So that's half an onion chopped up, and as you can see, a little bit goes a fairly long way. So as usual, I did with the other one, put it on your tray. I always use the fruit leather trays for these. You can use the ones with the small openings, but geez, it takes so long to pick them off, and if it's anything slightly sticky like this, it gets really frustrating. It's so much easier to just use these. So you can see that a medium-sized onion will take up approximately half a tray. So 1 onion per tray. I got 2 of them done, and you can hear the dehydrator going in the back. So it also is a good idea that when you have 1 tray done, just start it up. When you finish it, add it to it, and so on. So I'll be done in a bit. It's about 2 hours. Now, I'll kind of zoom in, but it's really hard to see right now. There's a few dryish trunks and mainly moist. Okay. So yeah, you're definitely gonna have to let this go. Now, when you're drying stuff like this, by all means, put on a glove or clean hands or whatever and even it out if you've got excessively wet or excessively dry areas. You can also rotate the trays, like put the top one at the bottom, but this was gonna be the driest one right now, so if you are gonna do that, I'd wait till that one's looking pretty dry to put it at the bottom and swap them out. It's later in the evening now. It's about 6 hours since I started this. I did forget, it's been a while. When you're doing multiple trays, it can take significantly longer. Usually it's 4 or 5 just for one. Now, these are starting to turn brown. I would zoom in, but you're going to miss what I'm trying to show you here. Right near the edge is where they're driest, and when they're done, they will just flick off just like that and come away from the tray. Now, further in, they're sticking a bit. So I'm going to let that go for at least an hour, possibly 2, and hopefully it'll be done by then. So let's take a look there. Yeah, okay, that's done. It's been about 7.5 hours. I'll just pick up a tray and bring it over. Let you have a look at that. And you can see they're coming off the side nice and easy. And they're all dried and crunchy. And they taste really sweet and good. So that's how you make dried sweet onions. Another good addition to your pantry. So this is what they look like the next day after I've scraped them out of the trays and put them in a container. You can hear how dried and nice they are. And maybe hear me crunching a couple. You know, if you've ever had deep fried onions, these taste nearly the same, except they have 0 fat. So that would be worth investing in. And they're so good, I gotta think up a few recipes for them. So thanks for watching. And as I said, this is the next day. I did not stay up all night.